Butler, do you know that the movie that we are doing this week, Ransom, was the 6th highest grossing film of 1996?
Oh no.
That's right.
Oh.
You're going to guess the top 5. Shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Field.
Oh, don't be that sad.
Give me back my son. Hi, I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this is Forgotten Cinema. Each episode, we highlight a film that, for a variety of reasons, was forgotten by audiences. Whether a more popular movie was released at the same time, or the film simply didn't catch on with an audience in its initial run. We'll discuss what we love about the movie, or perhaps don't love about it, but we will always recommend you revisit it. If you enjoy Forgotten Cinema, we want to hear from you. We are on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We are everywhere. We have a backlog of over 300 episodes for your listening pleasure. I did that.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
Woo! Mike, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. I just, I don't know if you know this, but I run a small up and coming airline. And, I've Endeavor Airlines, and I've gone through a couple of scandals in my time, but everything's looking up and up. I'm looking for investors. I got a great family, a great kid, great wife. But unfortunately, my son has been kidnapped by Gary Sinise, of all people.
Give me back my son.
And, I keep offering this money. I go for the pickup, but, he didn't give me up my son. He didn't give me my son. He didn't tell me where my son is. I think he's lying about
he
that.
He did not give you back your son.
You know what? $2 million for the head of Gary Sinise.
Jimmy Shaker. We like Gary Sinise. That's Lieutenant Dan.
He's a very
Lieutenant
nice
Dan, you got magic legs.
In real life, Gary Sinise is a really nice man. So yes.
Oh, we are all over the place with our movie references today, but that's fine. And I probably will throughout this episode keep yelling, "Give me back my son," so prepare for that. That's right. We are doing Ransom. Here we go. The runtime for Ransom is 121 minutes. It's rated R. Production budget of $80 million. It came out on November 8th, 1996. That was a Friday. Its opening weekend, it did $34 million. Its domestic total was $136 million. Its international total was $173 million. Again, a movie that did better internationally than domestically.
$34 million for an opening weekend back in 1996
was huge. That's big. Yeah, it was big. Exactly.
An adult movie.
Yes, this is like a movie we don't see a lot in these days. Yeah. You know what I mean? Anyway, so its worldwide total was $309 million. I said it was the 6th highest grossing film in 1996 in our YouTube opening, and we will get to. Do you want to do it now, or should I want to do it through all the facts? No, we'll do it later. We'll do it at the end.
Well, when you get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll do it later on in the episode. Okay. Its production company was Touchstone Pictures and Imagine Entertainment, and it was distributed by Buena Vista Pictures Distribution, a.k.a. Disney.
When you wish upon a star.
We're probably going to.
Although, you can't actually, we're using Buena Vista as exists because they don't want, violence in their movies. They want to hide behind that Buena Vista.
Oh, right. Well, Touchstone too. Touchstone. Yeah. You're right. Okay, so I said this came out on the 8th of November. Let's go back to the first, where you had a wide release of Larger Than Life. That's Bill Murray and Elephant. You know, remember
that? Yep.
Dear God, which is the Greg Kinnear film where people are writing notes to God in the mail office and they're answering them.
I vaguely remember that. Okay, yep.
Romeo and Juliet, which is obviously the Baz Luhrmann film, and Bad Moon, limited release of The Funeral. That is the Abel Ferrara movie, I believe. The 8th, when this film came out, it went up against Set It Off and the limited release of The Secret Agent, starring Bob Hoskins. You ever see that?
No.
It's Joseph Conrad's The Secret Agent. It's the story. Well, it's it's an English film. Patricia Arquette's in that.
I mean, Bob
Hoskins, Jim Broadbent.
You had me at Bob Hoskins.
You should watch it. It's a decent film. You also had a limited release between the 8th and the 15th of Breaking the Waves. That is the Emily Watson film. That is one of the first Emily Watson films I watched. It's Stellan Skarsgård. It is a foreign film. She is married to Stellan Skarsgård. He gets he gets injured, and he's like, I don't know if he lost his legs or whatever, and he wants her to go out and experience life and sleep with other men and like tell him. It's like a really weird thing, and
because he feels like he's done for
right. Yeah. But it's such a foreign film. Like you got to put on your big scarf to watch it, and put your nose in the air and sift and smell the wine and tell people how terrible they are, how great you're. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, the week after this 15th, you had a wide release of Space Jam, Butler's favorite, and The Mirror Has Two Faces, Barbra Streisand film, and a limited release of The English Patient, which is obviously goes on to win some Oscars there for that season. All right. So this film is directed by Ron Howard. He has done A Beautiful Mind, which he won director and producing Oscar for because it won Best Picture. He also was nominated for those same categories for Frost Nixon, which he did, and he also did Night Shift, the movie we did on the podcast. There you go.
I thought you were going to bring up Apollo 13 because
I love Apollo 13.
It kind of coincides with some notes about the movie.
No, but we could talk about it. But I love Apollo 13.
Apollo 13 is also great.
Awesome. Screenplay was Richard Price and Alexander Ignon. Price is nominated for The Color of Money. He's also did Sea of Love. He's done a couple TV episodes of The Wire. Ignon has done a TV movie called The Wedding Dress. He's also done a movie called Billionaire Ransom, which is either now called Takedown or was called Takedown. I'm not sure, but it has two different titles. Cinematographer was Piotr Sobozinski, who was nominated for an Oscar for Three Colors Red, and he also did Hearts in Atlantis. Composer was James Horner, who has 10 Oscar nominations and won 4.
Oh, I don't know. Don't remember, although we've done, you probably said on the cast before. Titanic.
There you go. Edited by Daniel B. Hanley and Mike Hill. That's our new. That
whistle's going to come out so good on the audio.
You know what? It's better than humming. Hanley has won an Oscar for Apollo 13 for his editing. He's also nominated for A Beautiful Mind, Cinderella Man, Frost Nixon. If those movies have any similarities, is that Ron Howard directed them, and Mike Hill is his partner. So they have same as above.
Cinderella Man?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Really?
Or I've forgotten about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I like it.
And this film was produced by Brian Grazer, who is obviously from Imagine Entertainment, who is Ron Howard's producing partner. So he obviously produces all of Ron Howard's films. Kip Hagopian, who's the executive producer on Desert Blue and Restoration, and Scott Rudin, who has 10 Best Picture nominations and won 4. No Country for Old Men.
I love that movie.
No, you don't. All right. This film stars Mel Gibson, as Butler said, as Tom Mullen. He's obviously in the Lethal Weapon series. He's won Oscars for directing and producing Braveheart. He was in Daddy's Home 2. That's the only reason why I love Daddy's Home 2, because that scene, the scene at the OUOEC with him and Lithgow and Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, where they're talking about the thermostat. That is absolutely true for any father out there, for any parent. Yes, that is absolutely true. I love that scene. He's also in Conspiracy Theory.
Our final episode of Forgotten Cinema.
And then we came back because I apparently, didn't understand that we weren't done.
Every time we think I'm out, they pull me back.
Well, they're just waiting to hear, like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, we're
going home crying to Elise. I'll get him. I'll break him.
Yeah. Hey, we could probably do this podcast thing. Well, if we got on YouTube, Forgotten Cinema would have been really good.
Field wants to do Forgotten Horror 5. Oh, guys, he's close. He's close. I can feel it.
He's getting there. A couple more weeks, couple more months.
I'm feeling him out. All right. Renee Russo as Kate Mullen, who is obviously the wife of Tom Mullen and the son of Sean Mullen, who is the abductee. Renee Russo's in In a Line of Fire, The Thomas Crown Affair, Nightcrawler. She is Frigga in the MCU series. She plays Thor's mother. She is like Renee Russo's, I only listed a couple films. Her 90s, like Renee Russo's 90s, like the movies that she's in, she is in a ton of films that all did well, like Tin Cup, like just like, she's in Lethal Weapon 3 and 4.
Yeah, she's Mel Gibson's wife in those. Yeah.
So she's in a lot of stuff in the 90s. Anyways, Brawley Nolte as Sean Mullen, the son. He doesn't really act anymore. He's a little small roles. He's actually the son of Nick Nolte and Rebecca Linger. So in case you wanted to know that. Gary Sinise as Jimmy Shaker, our bad guy here, nominated for an Oscar for
Forrest Gump.
That's right, Lieutenant Dan. He's in Apollo 13, CSI New York, the TV show, and he's also in the TV show more recently, 13 Reasons Why. I didn't know he was in that, the Netflix show. Delroy Lindo as Agent Lonnie Hawkins. He's the head of the FBI helping The Mullins get their son back. He's in Get Shorty, Defy Bloods. He's in the upcoming movie The Sinners. Not The Sinners. Sinners. And
he's in Gone in 60 Seconds, a movie we did on the podcast.
That's not what I was pointing to.
And The One, a movie we did on the podcast.
This past season. Lily Taylor as Maris Connor, who is one of the other kidnappers. She's in Mystic Pizza. This is the first Lily Taylor film we've done with Lily Taylor.
It's funny because I always forget her name.
Yeah.
And I was trying to describe it to Elise. I was like, she's like, oh, that's why I know I saw it. I just don't remember it. And I go, It's got that lady who's in everything in the 90s.
Yes.
She doesn't do a lot of everything in the 90s.
Every indie film. She's in a lot of indie films. Like her first movie was the first-ish movie was Mystic Pizza. Then she's in I Shot Andy Warhol, High Fidelity. She's in The Conjuring, which I didn't realize her character's in The Nun as well.
She's in The character's in The Nun, which I did see, which is not very good.
Is she in the beginning or something?
I don't remember. I just remember she's in it. Okay. And then she's in The Haunting, which is one of my brother's favorite movies, which is weird because he hates horror movies.
Yeah, she's in Daredevil. She's in the Born Again show. I know one of her credits is there. So she's going to pop up if you haven't seen it. I was going to say,
she's not there yet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What's interesting about Lily Taylor is because she came up and then I guess late 80s, early 90s in the indie scene. But she also came up with Parker Posey. Parker Posey is always in those indie films. And
Parker Posey is huge in indie things.
Right. And so I watch The White Lotus season 3 and I laugh because everyone's like talking about Parker Posey.
She's blowing up now.
And I'm just like, where have you guys been? Like she is like fantastic in like every indie film in the 90s.
Yep. She's great in Josie and the Pussycats.
Yes. We did. Yeah. A movie that we did.
She's also really good I think she's a really good Dr. Smith in the Lost in Space Netflix show. I don't know if you ever.
I never watched the Netflix show. I watched the movie, but I didn't watch the Netflix show.
Yeah. She's really good as Dr. Smith in the show.
Well, like Day Trippers, just to talk, I'm going to talk about some of the House of Yes. It's just funny because it makes me feel old, but then it also makes me feel like, I already knew this. I already knew she was
Where did she come from? I knew her before she was popular.
Exactly. So, welcome to the show.
Now you need the scarf and the little hat.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Maybe one episode I'm going to just get a big scarf. Get my Nolan scarf. I said it, Nolan. All right. Liev Schreiber as Clark Barnes, another one of the, I guess kidnappers. He's also in the Day Trippers. Anyways, he's in Spotlight. He's in the Scream series, obviously, for a couple episodes, a couple movies. He was in the TV show Ray Donovan, and he's in the more recently Asteroid City. Pause. Are you trying to come downstairs? Just come downstairs. Jesus Christ. All right. That's fine. It's just, I'd rather you just come down. All right. Donnie Wahlberg as Cubby Barnes from Dreamcatcher.
Movie we did.
I wanted to do the I Done It.
Do it again.
Donnie Wahlberg as Cubby Barnes from Dreamcatcher. I done it. That's insulting, Butler.
Oh,
that's right. It's a movie we did in season
like 1 or 2.
I want to say 1.
Is it 1?
Right. I want to say
it might be later
1.
in episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely something we recorded upstairs in your.
Did we?
That's a kitchen episode.
No.
I am pretty sure that's a kitchen episode.
Was the entire season 1 in the kitchen?
Just like the first 3 quarters.
No. I have to go back and listen to it then.
No, you know what it probably is? The first 10, we got our buffer, and then I edited them, and I was like, we got to move.
He's also, I didn't realize he's in like 3 of the Saw films. He plays one of the.
He's definitely in.
He's in
Saw
3 of them.
2. He's
in 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
That's what I saw. He's also in the TV show Blue Bloods, and I guess he's in some kind of spinoff of that, Boston Blue or something like that.
He's also in some kind of boy band. I don't know, some kind of kids on some kind of block or something.
I'm sure you can go take one of those cruises where they're all there and they're singing or something. They do that.
Those singing cruises is like those are big now.
I bet you they get because they probably get a lot of money.
Oh yeah, you free vacation and they'll pay you.
And we round out our kidnapping cast with Evan Handler as Miles Roberts from the TV show Californication and Sex and the City, and then you probably see like Paul Guilfoyle in there. John Ortiz, a young John Ortiz.
Yeah, I feel like, was this John Ortiz's like first role?
Yeah, AJ Benza, Dan Hedaya as Jackie Brown, who I kept saying, like, is this Jackie Brown from the Quentin Tarantino movie? And like, can we stop calling him? Not only can we stop saying Jackie, not only can we stop referring to him as Jackie Brown, but everybody talks to him like, it's like when people talk, like if I always refer to you as not Mike, but Michael Butler, like they always Jackie Brown. And I'm waiting for Pam Grier to show up. Like, it's enough already. All right. All right, Mike, have you seen this film before?
I have seen this film before, but probably not since like maybe high school.
Okay.
I remember liking it, but thinking it was really boring. But obviously because I was probably 14 or 15 when I watched it.
Yeah.
I I remembered a decent amount of the movie, but like obviously just kind of like the broad strokes. Certain scenes, like I remember the kid peeing down his leg.
Oh, right.
I remember the fight through the window. So
you're talking about the end,
at the very end.
Yep.
I remember him like doing the weird wiggle nose thing to the girl. The
wiggle nose thing.
He like does like this winky thing to her at the, the bartender, the kid.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which I never really understood.
Yeah.
Like, was he being a weird little snot right there? Like a little creepo? I never knew.
Yeah.
So I remember that. I remember the shootout when what's his stupid Gary Sinise
Jimmy Shaker
stupid name? When Shaker decides, I'm gonna shoot these guys.
Yeah.
So I remember that. So I remember some of the stuff. Like I remember, obviously, I think even people that don't know the movie know Mel Gibson's telecast where he's like, here's the $2 million, but you will never see this money.
Oh, well, they always remember, give me back my son from the trailer.
The trailer, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the telecast scene is what a lot of people know. But I forgot stuff like I forgot him leading him on to that stupid wild goose chase to get the money in the other bags.
In the beginning?
Yeah, I forgot Delroy Lindo's character. I forgot Jackie Brown.
Oh, the whole thing with the payoff, the bribe.
The bribe and the payoff.
Machinist strike.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I remember a decent amount. This watch, like just like overview, like I like this movie quite a bit more watching it as an adult because I didn't think it was boring. I think some stuff's a little weird, which we'll get into, but I was pleasantly surprised how much more I liked this movie than when I saw it when I was 14 or 15.
This is a very adult film, it's a drama. It's definitely a film that a type of movie that you do not see these days. You see this type of film.
These are like on HBO or
six-part series. I know just because it's on the top of mind, and we just talked about it. I talked about Parker Posey in the White Lotus season 3, how, all the White Lotus seasons, everyone's always like, it's boring. It's like, no, it's storytelling. It's leading up to something. Like it's setting the stage. Like that's how movies, that's like what these movies do in the 90s. That's what they were like. So, but this movie would be like a 6-episode series on Netflix,
which would probably be too long.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's, I have not seen this since, probably the 90s. I have not seen this in over 30 years. So I think I talked to you. I said this before. Like I miss Mel Gibson in films. I miss like Mel Gibson in the 90s. I miss he was definitely like a leading man, and he definitely when you were gonna sit Maverick, this film,
Lethal Weapon, Man Without a Face.
When you were gonna sit down and watch, you were gonna see a movie, a good movie. You felt there was a lot of confidence in a Mel Gibson film. I'm not discounting the stuff that has happened in his personal life in terms of movie,
him as an actor.
Yeah. I'm talking about when you're sitting down to watch a film,
his characters.
Right. So, I miss this type of film, but I liked the movie when I watched it originally.
Right.
And I still like it. I still enjoy it. There's a reason why it made all that money, but I felt like up at that point when he makes the decision to offer the money as a ransom,
make it a bounty instead.
Right.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was not in line with that decision because I just felt that was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like not risky, I guess risky, but yeah, I guess
flippant.
Very egotistical, which makes sense with his character because he's somebody who runs an airline. But as somebody that we're supposed to follow along in the story in terms of him being the lead and the audience is supposed to side with him, it was very hard for me to keep siding with him.
See, I agreed with him at that point because when I'm watching the movie as it started, I'm like, why does he do this? It seems like stupid.
Sure.
But I forgot about the fact that they will lead him on that wild goose chase. Donnie Wahlberg's character has no intention of giving, clearly is like, give you the location of the kid. What are you talking about?
Right.
And I forgot, he gets all this material reading up on these kidnappers and the ransom cases that if you don't see your kid, it's probably because the kid's dead or they were never going to give you the kid to begin with.
Right.
So I was kind of more on board this time than I think thinking about it, leading up to the film.
Well, my two thoughts were, why wouldn't they just kill the kid, which they never gave you any indication that they weren't going to, except,
But in this movie, they were pretty clear that they're going
Shaker
to. This kid's going to die by that when we're done.
Why wouldn't you just kill this kid, move on, and go kidnap somebody else? And then when you kidnap somebody else, you just be like, did you see what happened to the Mullen kid? So pay us. You will pay us.
I think the whole thing is then you'd create like a trail of dirt.
But that's what you would say. Well, see, let's just say that these are professionals. That's what you would tell Tom. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is that? But also is like Rene Russo, her character, Kate, should leave him after this movie.
Oh, 100%.
She should not stay with him.
When she gets mad, it's like, that's the acceptable amount of mad that you get. That's what I liked. She was like, I'm with him, but she wasn't with him at first. But see, and then when he thinks that she killed the kid, she's slapping him. She's mad. Like that's the end of the marriage.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like his decision, it's almost like I almost want a line in the film where he says or she says to him, no matter what happens, what you've done here has ruined us forever. Like I almost want that.
But you're not going to get that in a Hollywood movie though.
But and I get that. And maybe Mike Field 2025 sensibilities, because decisions you make have repercussions.
Sure.
He's like, the fact that we're not even going to talk about, he admitted to bribing. He admitted to bribing, to doing the bribe. He tells Delroy Lindo's character, Agent Hawkins. And Hawkins is like, I haven't said anything. Okay, fine. But you said it again in front of the other agent who's in the kitchen. So it's going to come out. You don't even go back to like, you put an innocent man, there's an innocent man in jail in Jackie Brown. And the end of the movie, we're like, we're not even going to address the fact that he's going to stay in jail.
But I kind of like that because it's not about that. Like Mel Gibson's character is not a great guy.
Right.
And that's how and he's got a lot of humor.
He lives in the gray.
So that's how that's a man who could put a bounty on. A guy who's like got no backbone or is too much of a goody two shoes is just going to do whatever Delroy Lindo's character says, Hawkins says, is going to do whatever his wife wants, is going to give the ransom 1,000 times, try to give the ransom without any kind of thought of backstabbing or doing his own thing. But this is a character that's clearly done his own thing, bribes people, isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. And that's the only way you're going to get a character that would do this.
And to be fair, after he does that decision and he goes out to the balcony, he just starts breaking down because he's like, what have I done?
He's going to jump. I feel like he was going to think about jumping off the balcony.
I think it would have been a little melodramatic if he climbed up on the thing.
Oh yeah. That's why he put his hands up and just,
So I'm kind of glad because then you just have everyone, no, pull
if he Titanics and goes, take me now.
But the fact that he goes out there and he just breaks down because obviously he's inconsolable. He killed his son. He thinks he killed him. And what has he done? He's caused this. And so there is that scene in there. And I'm probably asking for, I just think, like you said, like he's not exactly, he's not a white hat. He's not a good guy. He's not like that. He's a morally great character, obviously. And I believe like if you did a sequel, which you're never doing, Ransom 2, that the marriages would not last. And he's obviously going to still get in trouble. And so I don't think it's all rosy for him. And it's definitely not rosy for Sean, his son, because his son's going to be going through so much therapy because that wasn't like a pleasant experience at all.
Oh yeah. Eyes were always taped shut, dehydrated, cough syrup shoved in his mouth.
Yeah. What was that? Why were they shoving cough syrup?
I think to keep him asleep.
Okay.
I think it was probably like drowsy cough syrup.
Yeah. But generally on the whole, I enjoy the film and I really enjoy the fact that Shaker means business. Yes. In terms of like the threat and to the point where like Gary Sinise was like the third choice to play this character because
everyone else was like, I don't want to play.
Because like they offered to Alec Baldwin and apparently offered to Ray Liotta and they both didn't want to do it because of the violence toward kids. But like you need a bad guy like that.
Yeah, but while I was reading those notes, I kind of get it. It's like this really Gary Sinise maybe because he's played characters that are so like good that he could kind of like walk out of this. Like Ray Liotta's played such bad people and like this would be like the tipping point of bad guys.
Maybe.
Alec Baldwin, I'm surprised. I think he's got enough good guy clout that he could walk away from it. But it is a rough role because like you said, there's no doubt that he's going to kill the kid at the end of this kidnapping. There's no second guessing. There's no, oh man, did we go too far? There's, I'm gonna get my money. Mm-hmm. This kid's getting shot in the back of the head and we're burying him in the park somewhere, wherever they are, where they're making that hole.
Right. Yeah. I think also with the kidnappers themselves, with the exception of Maris, was obviously is someone that I guess Jimmy's with now. Like, how did this group find each other? Like,
I feel like that they're all related to
like Shaker put him
Jimmy Shaker's.
Yeah.
Like he's caught them doing different. I think they do say at one point, like, Wahlberg and Schreiber's characters, like they had run into him before. He had busted them before.
Right. Okay.
So like that's definitely how they met them.
Right.
I assume hacker guy, same thing.
But don't you think like that would come out? I know that Shaker's trying to get out. He's trying to leave, which I think what he does at the end is stupid. It's a stupid decision to go to the house, to go to the apartment.
Wait till Monday.
Yeah. You can't, you already had this plan in motion. Why? What's the rush? Why would you do this? This is such a stupid maneuver.
Because he's reading all the news articles of like, yeah, we're going to catch the guy. We're going to figure it out. You think they're going to figure it out over the weekend?
But you're this mastermind that has put this whole thing together and you're just going to blow it on a stupid decision, on a reactive decision.
Yeah. Go get the money when it's televised and everyone's cheering for you.
Right.
In public. Get it then in public. Not. Right. Yeah.
And but also, side note, imagine the ability to just pull out your cashier's checkbook and write a $4 million check. Like he's okay, what do we make it out to him? Just this dude's just writing a $4 million check.
All right, you got it. Well, that's why he says, I kind of like the line toward the beginning. He goes, I gotta ask you a question. $2 million. Doesn't this guy know what I'm worth? Like $2 million? And Del Orlando's, it's easy. He knows you're gonna pay it. Yeah. That's why. Yeah. But then he tells Shaker later, is like, this guy's an idiot. I would have paid 10 times that for my kid. He's like, really?
Yeah, it's such a stupid decision to go there. It's really bad. Really bad. Staying with Jimmy
Shaker.
Do we need to know more why Jimmy feels the whole Morlock and Eloy
story that
he tells, the whole about rich people versus poor people, the people that run the city? Like, do we need to know more, like why he's doing this?
I need a little bit more to know why he's such a good cop. Because and they make a point of showing him on 2 different occasions being a pretty he's breaking up that fight, making sure the perp doesn't get beat up.
Yep.
He's shaking the other guy, trying to solve a case. You can tell he's working. He's not lazy. They don't show him being corrupt. He's an honest cop during the day, obviously. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I do need to know why he feels like that. Go to his apartment. Like they do show his place briefly. He's got a small kitchen and it seems clean or whatever, but like, show me he's living squalor. Show me that he's in debt up to his eyeballs.
Right.
Show me why or show me a case that he did where the rich person got away with it and like a poor person didn't, and it rubbed him the wrong way and flipped his moral compass maybe. Mm-hmm. Like I just think that would be more interesting. It would give me like, okay, this is why. Like, because I could maybe buy he's kidnapping, but like the fact that he's so intent on killing the kid and so down to do it is really, that's rough. That's a hard pill for me to swallow. Kidnapping the kid, no. Really being willing to kill the kid, that's tough for me.
Right.
Without knowing more.
Like why? Yeah. Why are you okay doing that?
Yeah.
Why are you good with that? There's a couple of those questions that pop up for me in terms of the plan in and of itself. The plan was always to kidnap him at the science fair. Is that what we're saying? Like that was
I think that's always been the plan.
Why is Lily Taylor working as a caterer then?
I think to get information.
In what regard? We never see her get the information.
The family. I mean, he does. Thomas does say where is Thomas? Right? Yeah. Tom Mullen does say, we've hired her 6 or 7 times. She's been over our house 6 or 7 times. So I assume she's kind of learning about the family, learning.
Well, don't you think we need to see something like that?
I was kind of okay without that. Yeah. It's whatever.
Do you think the shots to the tattoo on the neck and the shots of the tattoo of, I guess it's Devin Handler, that his character has a tattoo. Do you think that's the shots are just be like tattoos are bad? Tattoos mean bad people.
I didn't know what was up with the tattoos.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. That's why I think.
Is that really it?
I think so.
It's a heart tattoo. It's like,
I know.
I thought it was supposed to have a meaning.
Exactly. I thought, okay, the kid's going to notice the tattoo and realize.
But he just notices her.
Yes.
I know you.
And then, they show, and then, like you said, Tom sees her dead and he's like, did you know her? And so there's that. But yeah, there's no reason to cut to that close up with the tattoo on the neck. Unless we're missing something, unless we're missing a scene.
The other thing is like, Maris is also so easy to kill a kid, even though she comes from a home where kids were abused. Like,
right.
I want to know more about why she's so willing to kill a kid when she comes from an abusive household.
Mhm.
Clearly, in general, like you think that would make her less likely to want to abuse a kid.
Yeah.
Like Donnie Wahlberg's the only one who has a problem with killing a kid.
Yeah.
I just don't buy it. Like,
Yeah. Not even his
bad guys kidnapping kids, sure, but these aren't Mexican cartel lords. Like,
yeah,
that's tough thing to do.
And there's no like Liev Schreiber, his character, like doesn't do anything. Like, not that he doesn't do anything. He has no conversations with his brother. There's nothing, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no connection there.
I mean, Maris is there because she's with Gary Sinise's
Yeah,
character.
Jimmy Shaker.
Jimmy
Shaker.
She kind of was there as the bartender. But like, she doesn't really have anything to do. Hacker Guy's the only guy that makes sense because he's
scrambles
doing
the signal.
stuff for Shaker.
Yeah.
Everyone else is and doesn't do anything. And Liev Schreiber and Donnie Wahlberg's characters, the brothers, the Barnes brothers,
Cubby and Clark,
they are low level, like non-violent, like they're like low level criminals.
Right.
That sometimes work for like mob bosses, but they just do low level crap. And now they're going to be okay with doing a kidnapping where you're killing the kid.
Yeah.
It's like you've never done murder that we know of or anything like that before. Delroy Lindo's character, Hawkins, says they're low level guys.
Yeah.
But they're willing to kill the kid. It's like, I need a little bit more backstory on these characters and why they're so down to kill a kid.
And I think that's probably because the focus is on the Mullins. The focus is on Tom and Kate.
Which is fine. Yeah. I mean, it's already a 2-hour movie.
No, I know.
You don't need more.
That's the focus. Those are the star. That's the star. That's the focus.
But then maybe I just want the kidnappers to be more evil then.
Well, they are though. They're going to
kill the kid, but they don't seem like they're that evil.
Yeah.
Which I get, like, maybe the evil is the evil inside us or whatever, like hidden inside of people. But like BS, I'm sure someone's thinking, and that's maybe the thought process of the writers. But I don't think that's really evil. And I just need a character that's been down that road before to be able to do that.
Yeah. We were talking about the ending a little bit. And I wanted to, one of the things I wanted to talk about the ending was that my other note about this film is that it feels too long, but I think that's because there's two endings.
Yeah.
There's the ending of the kid, and then there's that whole 20-minute tag on with
the money and
Shaker the money and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And the kid and him peeing. I kind of wanted to hear. So when they show Sean and he pees in the hallway, and that's when Tom's like, "Oh my God, this guy's the bad guy."
Right.
And they're still talking. I kind of wanted to hear Kate in the background. "Oh, did you piss yourself, Sean? What'd you do?"
The sound of someone slipping on the floor. Oh, what's that?
Oh, she made a mess in the hallway. Like, I just kind of wanted that in the background. But I know that's not that type of movie. But yeah, it does feel a little too long just because of the double ending, you know. And I know you have to have it. I know you have, but I almost want the reveal to come when they, you know, at the scene.
There's a lot that happens. Like, even like when the first drop off happened, I was like, oh, we got to be like at least halfway, 3/4 of the way through the film. Oh, 40 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Like, it's just like, there's like a lot of build up to certain things, and you think it's super important, and it ends up not really, I don't know, having the importance that you think it's going to have. Like, the drop off is just, that convoluted drop off is there almost to fill time, just so that we can learn that he was never going to give the kid up.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know if we needed, like, I get he's putting him through hoops.
You needed that, and also
I don't know if I needed
the description of Shaker, the whole Morlock Eloy stuff,
what he's doing and why he's motivation.
That.
But that's not enough motivation.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Like, I almost wonder if not having that conversation, that little monologue, would have been better, just to give me no motivation. Don't give me like eke out that tiny little like kind of excuse of a motivation.
You need, but at some point you're gonna need to know why Shaker does this,
why he broke bad.
I mean, and maybe that's something he reveals at the end of the film. You know what I mean? Like,
Shaker's, you do it, Shaker?
Jackie Brown's my father. I don't know, whatever it is, something. You know, like I understand. I it's not necessarily like I understand like what he's talking about. I understand why, but I wanted more. But to your point, you got to put it somewhere. So if you don't put it there, maybe put it at the end, but put it somewhere. You want to know why. You're with these people a lot more than, not as much as you are with the Mullins, but you're with them enough where we need to know more.
Amount, yeah. I do like his reasoning for choosing Mullen. When he's like, "Why me?" because you're a payer.
Because you took that bribe. I could tell in your eyes.
I could tell in your eyes.
Yeah.
Which should have been like a payoff, like, maybe this guy's a cop. But yeah.
And do you think that that's also a little bit, we talked about this last week about, for the movie that we did, The 13th Floor, where it was a lot of tell me, a lot of show, don't tell kind of thing. Do you think that's a lot here? There's some stuff here that we need to see.
All of Shaker's motivation is tell, don't show.
Yeah.
Instead of show, don't tell. I absolutely, like I said, you need to go into his apartment and find out like he lives in squalor, or a rich person. One of the cases he worked, a rich person screwed over the poor person, or he's drowning in debt, no matter how good of a cop. Like we see his commendations, and then we see the pile of massive debt. Yeah. Like, no matter how good I am, it doesn't matter because the rich will keep trying to suck money out of me and ruin my life, kind of a thing. Yeah. Instead, we get this monologue about the time machine movie.
He's got that little nugget, and then he also has that when we first find out that he's bad, he's the guy that's the ringleader. He comes in and he gets completely naked and he gets into bed with Maris, and then like he says to her, he's like, "You're scared of your own humanity." Like I'm like he's dropping dropping like some philosophical knowledge on her.
You're good, and I need you to be good because I need some good.
I'm like, what? What is this? Yeah, babe, let's live in this hovel.
And the whole like kidnap, like putting his hand over Donnie Wahlberg's mouth, putting the gun to his head. Yeah, you do this and this. I was like, that was unnecessary.
But it's just because you don't realize that he's the bad guy.
Sure.
And so I know you probably already knew, but
I already knew because I had watched the movie. Pretend I still remember that from years ago.
Yeah, people don't know. They're like, why is he not busting them? And then you realize, How about at the science fair? Are we going to say that Sean Mullen invented drones? Is that what we're going to say here?
I'm watching that. Yeah, I'm going, my God. It's got a camera and everything. Yeah, it's like a crappy camera. Like
invent drone technology that we don't know about?
It's like, that's impressive.
That whole scene is like parents' nightmare. Like, that's like nightmare fuel. Like in terms of like, like even with my kids, like I was always with one eye on them, just because I watched way too many movies.
But like I watched Ransom and that.
Seriously, like I was always like, no, where are they? Like, it helps being tall too, because I can see like what's going on. But like no, that was like that's nightmare fuel when they like they can't find them.
The thing that I was confused with was like they're both officials. They're dealing with this bribery scandal. He's clearly super rich. There's no security for this kid.
Yeah.
I was like, you got no security.
Well, he does. No, he's got those two guys.
Oh, those are his lawyers, I thought.
No. The two guys that remember when they removed AJ Benza from the party?
Yeah.
Those were two. I thought those were security guys.
I thought those were his lawyers.
Oh, whatever. I thought they were security. But you're right. He should have his own security team.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving him out in public, at least when in public outings.
But I don't know. I mean, that's like a tough. Well, no, you know what? If he's dealing with the machinist union,
he's dealing with the union.
Yeah, deals. He would have somebody.
He's really going public with his.
He'd have something. Stuff. He'd have at least one dude.
Yeah, it's like he's got nothing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. How about the part where Shaker? He says it twice. He says, "You're an LAD. You're a lying ass dog." He says that when he's busting Ortiz, right? He says that. I think he says it there.
Yeah.
So at some point, and then he says it again in the car. To when he's talking to Mullen.
He does say that to Mullen.
Calls him a lioness dog.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's going to come up at some point.
Like it's going to be something that fingers him for and the never comes up.
We don't have it. We have not. We don't. That doesn't come up.
Well, it's the same with like the Morlocks and the Eloys. I'm like, when's that coming back?
Yeah.
At least as a comeback line that
Mullen
whole, says.
And I don't have a problem with that analogy or him explaining it. But it feels just very movie dialogue. It feels, you know what I mean? It feels.
You ever see that movie, The Time Machine?
Yeah, it just feels.
Let me explain the movie plot.
It feels very just like I'm a writer in Hollywood and I'm going to use this. And I get it. It's necessary. It's just sometimes maybe because I've just been around the block for so long. You know what I mean?
That it seems to like cliche movie.
Yeah. It just and I'm thinking I've seen The Time Machine. I know what you're talking about, but I know, you know what I mean? Like, so,
but not all the audience, but yeah.
No, I get it.
But I think it's silly to have to have his explanation be hidden behind a movie plot so that he has to explain the plot of the movie and then explain how it works in this situation, how it applies to this situation. Just like super overwrought, just so that he can keep babbling, to have the walkie-talkie go out to really lead to nothing. Like I was like, oh, so Mel Gibson's going to follow him. Nope. He's still just going to obey whatever his thing is. Like, what was the point of the walkie?
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
It also is another thing that led to nothing. And I wonder if it's because these plot points were in the film or the TV show or whichever iteration of it they're following. And they're just like, well, we got to have it in there because it was in this.
And part of when I was talking about Tom's decision to just basically take over and handle everything and just do what he wants to do, that felt very like from I have not seen the 50s movie with Glenn Ford and who else is in that? Glenn Ford, and I wrote it down. Donna Reed. Leslie Nielsen's actually in that too.
Back when he was doing serious stuff.
Like Tom's decision making, I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to take care of it. He's going to fight, and he fights him at the end and all that stuff. Like that felt very like from the 50s movie. I almost felt like that was pulled from that. I still don't buy it, but it's fine. I get why it's in there. I love the fact that at the end of the film, it's up to Tom Mullen to save the cops from Jimmy Shaker when Shaker just starts shooting him and he tackles him. No, I like the scene. It's just funny. It's just like, I'll take care of it.
But it's Delroy Lindo that shoots him like 4 times. Mel Gibson shoots him once.
And so, yes, I meant like before that part when
puts him through the window when they're actually fighting.
But yes, let's talk about that ending. I don't think that's Tom's shot to take. I don't think he should shoot because he's going to be in trouble.
That's why Delroy Hawkins put the gun down.
Yeah, but he still shot him. Exactly.
Yeah, he didn't listen because he wanted to get the last word in because he wanted that revenge because that's who Tom Mullen is. He's kind of an ass.
Right. And I know 19's audience is like, yeah, you did it. But I'm thinking to myself, you are now going to have to deal with.
And he'll probably get acquitted because he was pulling the gun out. Right. But he's surrounded by cops. He should know that they're going to show. Like, Hawkins has that guy dead to rights as well. He's the guy that shoots him. Like, you don't need to shoot him.
Revealing who it is the win for Tom Mullen.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to finish him off. That's not his. It's Delroy Lindo's character, Hawkins' character. His job. Let him do that.
But like you said, in the 90s, it's like a hero moment. Yeah. But watching it today, it's that just shows how much hubris.
Right.
Tom has,
and he'll never see that. And that plus his decision to risk his son's life, his decision to take those matters in his own hands, his decision to tell his lawyers to refuse money that Kate's going to ask for money, tell her no.
Yeah.
All that stuff is it when it all adds up together. I just like Tom has crossed a line that I don't think, it's going to, that marriage will last. I don't think Kate's going to stay with him. I just think it's good. Yeah.
Locking her out of the money is what pushes over the line. Not giving her the option of having a decision.
Yeah.
But yet he can make those executive
because I can envision a scene where Kate is like the euphoria of having your son back, you're back together, your son's in therapy, where she's like, I'm so happy he's back, but I cannot keep thinking about what if what you did was a mistake. And what if we did not have my son here? And the fact that you're willing to do that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I can trust you anymore. Like that, that stuff's gonna, and I know you're like, no. I know the counter to that.
The counter to the bounty, but not the counter to locking her out of the money.
But I just want
when he doesn't give her a choice. That's what's wrong.
I just think there's more honesty in a scene where, whether it's a look, whether it's a conversation, whether it's just one line between the two of them, where that this is not Tom. Tom's happy that his son's alive, but what has Tom sacrificed for that?
It's going to eat at them. Yeah.
Right. That's I want some kind of recognition.
I feel like you would get that in a movie that's made today, or you would get that in the 6-part HBO series.
No, I get it.
Which would be way more highfalutin.
And maybe that's not a cool thing to do in 1996. Maybe they're more focused on, maybe that, like, no,
hero moment. Plus is Mel Gibson.
I get it.
Yeah.
I just think I want a little bit more in that regard. Now, I promised you that we were going to do this.
I thought it was more of a threat, but yes.
No, it's a threat. So this film is the 6th highest grossing film of 1996 at 309 million. Oof. Wait a minute. Oh, this must be domestic gross. So domestic gross. Because it doesn't count the international. So at 136 million, it was the 6th highest grossing film of 1996.
Okay.
Should I give you hints? Or can you give me I'll tell you the numbers.
Did Independence Day come out in 1996?
Yes, it did.
Okay. The Independence Day is number 1.
It is number 1 at 306.
I'm kind of going out of order. The English Patient did better than
The English
Ransom?
Patient is not even in the top 10.
Wow, but yet it had so much recognition.
Well, that's different than money.
I get it. I'm going to need hints after this because I can't.
Are you kidding? 96, Butler.
It's not 1999. Plus, I was 9.
You need to think about IPs. You need to think about big time directors. You need to think about big time actors in the 90s. Think about who was big in the 90s.
Was 96 Men in Black?
No. Men in Black was 97, I believe. It's not even in the top 10, so no.
The Lost World Jurassic Park didn't come out yet.
No, that was 97 as well.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's so many 97 movies. 96 is like this black hole for me.
It's not, because you are forgetting major films. You are forgetting big time films that we have quoted repeatedly.
Well, Apollo 13 came out in 96, right?
Nope. Apollo 13 did not come out in 96. It came out in 94.
That was when Braveheart came out.
No, I'm sorry. Apollo 13 was 95.
Right. Big time films. Die Hard with a Vengeance, 96?
No. Die Hard with a Vengeance was, let's see. Die Hard was 88. Die Hard 2 was 90. So Die Hard with a Vengeance was 92 or 93?
Damn.
No, 95. 95? I don't know. All right. I'm going to have to give you hints.
I'm going to need hints.
Unbelievable.
Sorry.
All right. So number 2, we did a now showing for its sequel.
Gladiator?
Nope.
No, yeah. The
Gladiator 2000.
Yeah.
2001.
We did a lead up for its sequel.
Yes. Oh, man. These pipes go 30 feet down.
Oh, Twister was 96?
Yes, Twister was number 2. Number 3, the 8th film in the series is coming out this year. And we are doing a now showing for it.
Mission Impossible 1?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And also known as Mission Impossible is number 3.
I thought that came out in 95.
No.
Okay.
Number 4 is a Michael Bay film. It's probably my favorite.
Rock.
Yes. Number 5 has one as the lead actor playing multiple roles.
Multiplicity?
No, multiple roles. He's playing his father. He's playing his brother. He's playing
The Nutty Professor.
Yes, the Nutty Professor. Number 5. Then number 6 is Ransom. Then you have, just to round it out, you have The Birdcage at 7, A Time to Kill at 8, 101 Dalmatians at 9, and The First Wives Club at 10.
All right.
You were terrible with this.
I was 9.
This film was meant to come out in the summer of 96. Did you read that?
I did not read that. That
Yes.
would have been a terrible choice.
So Touchstone wanted this film to come out in the summer, which I agree with you.
Oh, I think I did read this note.
Because he had Gibson had an emergency appendectomy,
Yep.
but also he was in the middle of his Oscar campaign trail for Braveheart, so that was taking him away. And then they shot in the winter, and I guess the winter that year was bad. So they kind of had a lot of delays and production delays. So yeah, so no, this is not a summer film. This is a November film.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I don't think this movie would have done well.
Even
I mean,
back
again,
then,
but it's a Mel Gibson film, so he's a big star.
Okay.
Yeah, but
yeah. It's not going up against, any summer movie.
No, agreed.
His Lethal Weapon movies are where you put in the summer. Not. I think most of his movies do bet.
Yeah, but he's a big time name, and that's why you do this. That's why you put it in there. All right, let me get you some. Let me get you 2. I got 2 reviews for you.
Lay them on me.
Your favorite, Roger Ebert. Quote, Gibson gives an interesting performance, showing a man trying to think his way out of a crisis, and Sinise makes a good foil. Here are 2 smart men playing a game with deadly stakes.
Yeah, I like both their acting in the film.
Sure. I
really like Gary Sinise. Like I said, I think it's interesting he plays such a villain.
Yeah.
When he usually plays kind of good guys.
Yeah.
And I really like when Mel Gibson on the balcony, like we said, when he breaks down, I think that's cool because and I know Mel Gibson does a lot of Oscar, he did Braveheart and stuff like that, but like your leading man, like the hero, he does hero roles. I mean, that's Martin Riggs. Sure. He's breaking down on the balcony, just sobbing uncontrollably. I think that's cool. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah. Edward Guthman of the San Francisco Chronicle says, quote, Ransom doesn't offer that kind of social analysis or wit, and it doesn't question the wisdom of curing violence with more violence. It glories in it and congratulates Gibson for having the cojones to take justice in his own hands.
Yeah, kind
That's
of.
pretty much what we were saying, or I was saying before. He doesn't like that fact. So, but this makes a lot of money. This movie was popular in the 90s. This is a big film. This is a big film in Gibson's pantheon of films and a big film in Ron Howard's pantheon of films, I would say, right? But why are we now? I always skip.
Yeah, come on, man.
I know, right? Well, whatever. Who would you recommend it to? Would you recommend this to people?
Sure.
Do you think somebody who was your age or my age back then now would dig this film?
Well, I mean, you would have if this came out at, I mean, I didn't watch it at 9, but if I was 9, then you would have been
21.
21.
21.
If you watched this when you first came out, like, I'd have been surprised if you really liked it back then.
I enjoyed it, but you have to remember,
you were all more in the movies.
We've talked. This is where I started getting into films.
So I would say, I would recommend this to someone who really likes films. I would recommend this to somebody who likes Mel Gibson, who can watch a movie past, and look past, his stuff, like we said at the beginning. It's Mel Gibson, but if you watch it as an actor, don't think about what he says or what he's like in real life. I think there's stuff to get out of it, and like we say, you only get this stuff on HBO, and I can't stand the HBO stuff that's like this. I don't like stuff like the Kate. I know you said it was good.
Kate Winslet, Mare of Easttown.
Mare of Easttown.
That's a good movie.
I know,
a good show.
Good show, but like I can't get past like when you stretch it to 6 episodes, you automatically I think make it there's like a snootiness that goes along with it. And I think by keeping it within 2 hours or 220, keeping it in a movie, I think it's much more palatable. It's much more watchable. It's much more enjoyable because you're not spreading out. Although you are missing some stuff like that we want in the movie. You just don't get these kind of movies anymore. You have to sit through a 6.
Well,
you have to recommend. You should watch Mare of Easttown because it's 6 episodes. You can watch Ransom. It's 210. And it's just like, I think that's cool to recommend because you can't recommend that.
Well, what
anymore.
about if Ransom script was, if Ransom timed out to be like a 3.5 hour film, okay? Would you be okay with 3 episodes? Would you be okay like a 3 1 hour plus episodes?
I mean, I'd be more okay.
Not that come out see, this is how you would do it. You wouldn't do it like week to week. You would go the next 3 days. Ransom.
That's cool.
Like stuff like that. That's how you would do it.
I don't think people do that enough.
But they do it. The British
they either release everything all at once or they go 3 weeks.
Stuff over Britain does that. Like the Dracula series is 3 episodes.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. But yeah, I just think it's cool to recommend this stuff when it's a movie and not to recommend somebody watch. We recommend TV shows to each other all the time that we never get to because it's like, ain't nobody got time for that because you're watching your shows. I'm watching my shows. It's a lot easier to be like, Butler, you should watch this movie.
And the shows take away from the movies.
Yeah, you recommended September 5th to me.
Yep.
You're like, Butler, it's really good. That's a quick watch.
Yep.
That's a lot easier for me to digest than Butler. You should watch For All Mankind, which I will like and I will finish. But it's like you recommending a 4-season show to me. It's a lot harder to be like, so what'd you think? What'd you think? It's like, I'm getting to it. Whereas you watch.
To be fair, Rebecca recommended that show.
I know a long time ago. I'm using.
And I recommended The Expanse to you, and you loved it.
I did love The Expanse. But I think it's just a lot easier to be like, hey, this movie's really good, and this kind of movie is now only TV shows. So that's why I would recommend this.
The adult drama.
The adult drama movie.
No, you're right. Well, that's because adults are home. They don't want to go to the theaters. I get it.
Right.
That's why. But it's a monster of your own making. Like these streamers and all this stuff. Netflix obviously is its own thing, and then all the studios followed suit, and now it's a monster of your own making. You created this world now where like the expectation is like just stuff at home. I'll just stay at home and watch it.
Yep.
Movie theaters are more expensive. They're gonna get. I don't know if they'll get as expensive as Broadway, but they're too expensive to just go to see what like we obviously work at the theater. We say it all the time. People will just show up and be like, what's new? What's the just because they would go to the theater on the weekend to watch a new movie.
You get less and less.
Don't do that now anymore. Yeah. Now you got to know where you want to sit. Now you got to know if the movie's worth going to, if you want to spend $20 on an IMAX.
When I started, there were like 20 regulars that you remembered like come in every time. And then at the end, before I left the theater, there was one lady.
And what's also sad, and as two people who,
love the theater.
Don't like people. I like people. I shouldn't say that.
I don't like
but you don't see those regulars anymore because they just go buy them online or they go straight to the kiosk and they go straight in. They don't come up to the box office.
Oh, that's
you
true.
You don't
too.
have conversations with anybody. You don't. Hey, I saw this. You don't have that anymore because because
everything's cut everything.
Yeah. So you're eliminating that in-person contact, which yes, on the face of it is efficient and great, but you lose that ambiance of the theater. Yeah. You lose there's kind of like all that. So back to our point. Yeah. These adult dramas aren't going to be in the theaters because people aren't going to go see them. They're going to go just stay home and watch them.
That's why, despite its flaws, I would 100% recommend.
But Mike, that's why I love movie nights. I love when my buddies will come over, we would watch a couple movies. Like I love that stuff.
Sure, but I feel like people don't do that.
They don't do that anymore because I feel odd suggesting it to people. Hey, like
come over and let's
want to watch a movie? Come on over. Like I feel odd just saying it because it's just it's awkward.
It's not done anymore. Yeah,
it's not. It's really sad. Okay. All right. So now that I built up this whole thing before about how this movie was really popular. Why are we saying it's forgotten if everybody has seen it?
I think because everybody saw it back then, but now people like my age, maybe
my age, your age now, your age back then now,
my age back then now. I think even people like your age back then now, because I don't think a lot of 21-year-olds in 1996 were watching this. So you were interested in film, which is why you're watching,
right?
And trying to get everything. So I think a lot of people in there, now they're in their 30s and 40s, are adult enough to enjoy this type of film.
Yeah.
And probably passed it by. I like that. This is something that, our parents enjoyed. I know my parents went to go see it in the theater.
Sure. I don't know if my family, I don't know if my parents saw it. They probably did.
My mom was a huge Mel Gibson fan.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
He was his big time star.
Right.
I respect that.
But our parents went to go see it, but then we kind of didn't get to watch it. We didn't really get, like you and I have like I just said, absorbed a lot of movies because we were interested in that thing. I would watch tons of movie on like HBO or Cinemax and even like the late night Saturday movie that might be a crime thriller or an adult thriller. But that's out of the norm.
Right.
And I feel like now people are really, like you said, White Lotus, Mayor of Easttown. Everybody was like raving about it when it came out, which is now probably 10 years old. I'm probably dating myself now. But like these kind of things everyone's talking about now because now they're adults, but they never got to appreciate the 2-hour version of it, the more easily digestible, quicker digestible version of it, or what had come before. And I think it has just as much merit. But I think that, as generations are passing, they've passed over Ransom. Like I said, I think people know the general plot because where's my son? And
give me back my son.
Here's $2 million. You'll never see it. It's going to be on your head.
Yep.
Everybody knows those lines, but nobody knows the context. Nobody knows what the movie was about. And I feel like that's too bad, but I think that's why it was forgotten. And again, it's streaming on TNT if you have Hulu Premium. But it's not streaming. That's what it was. It's on TNT. So
usually after we do a movie, it pops up on Stars.
Yeah, so Stars will steal it because they're big fans of us, I guess.
Somebody from Stars is watching us. I know it. We will partner with you.
We're okay. Yeah, watch Stars. If you want movies, you gotta have.
No, don't give it to them free.
But yeah, I think that this would do well on a streamer. Like we always say, like if they had a better carousel, like Netflix's carousels are all over the place, which I have talked to no end about.
Ad nauseum.
I don't like the UI on Netflix. But I think that, if you put this on a streamer and you put it out there, this would be one of those surprise films that I think, you'd see like, Screen Rant make their little stupid article about like this surprise 1996 film is in the top 10 this week on Netflix or something. I think it would do well because people would be like, oh yeah, that's right. I know about this movie, but I've never seen it. But I think that's why it's forgotten because this is the type of movie that should be on a streamer that would do well on a streamer, but isn't.
You also I think you can also make a case for that. There are so many films that Gibson's in that are really good that this movie kind of goes down a little bit. You have the Lethal Weapons. You have
Braveheart the year before,
Forever Young, Braveheart, Maverick. You have Conspiracy Theory, which I mean, maybe it's
Ransom
not as
much
good,
better.
But I'm saying, he's got a bunch of movies that are up in various stratospheres of decent, like Payback, Lethal Weapon 4.
I want to rewatch Payback. I remember seeing it in theaters and not enjoying it as much as I think I would now because I thought it was too weird and quirky.
Well, Payback
back then because it was so different. But if I watched it now, I'd appreciate that.
When Payback came out, There was a lot of stuff about how it was re-edited. Like there was not controversy, but there was a lot of stories that came out about behind the scenes issues. But a lot of movies have that. So, but I liked Payback because I liked Payback. Payback was fun.
The thing I remember the most about it, they tie a kid to a radiator and he wants just a small amount of money and everyone's like, that's it. Yeah.
But I always remember the scene where he cuts himself out of the trunk through the back seat of the car.
Oh, I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Just that scene. I enjoy Payback quite a bit.
Yeah. That's a movie. Maybe I'll add that. I think that's already on the list.
Is it really?
But I should add that to the list because I would enjoy where you're watching it. Maybe analyze it.
So I think that's part of it. Like, there's so many of his films. I love Maverick. Maverick's a great film.
Maverick is great.
Yeah, I love the ending of Maverick. Anyways, all right. So where can I find us?
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast. You're watching, listening to us, enjoying us, hating us. Why don't you comment about how much you enjoy us, love us, hate us? That'd be great. What's your favorite Mel Gibson film? Other than Lethal Weapon, everyone's gonna say Lethal Weapon, that's my favorite as well.
Favorite Mel Gibson film? I like Maverick quite a bit
more than Lethal Weapon. If Lethal Weapon was still on the table.
I like Lethal Weapon too. I don't know.
I meant as a whole.
No. Lethal Weapon. Yeah, Lethal Weapon.
But yeah, while you're there, please, all that like commenting, rating, subscribing. I know everyone says it on every channel. It really does help. And we appreciate everybody who does. If you want to support us further, we're on Patreon. We've got exclusive episodes there for you that we do. We've got content, we've got Discord access, we've got merch discounts, we've got stickers, all that kind of good stuff on Patreon waiting for you. We've also got other shows other than the main show. I never mentioned it, but we have our now showings. We have our lead ups. Go check those out if you want a similar style, but different kind of movies.
We're trying to do different things. We'll figure it out. And join us next week as Butler. We're going back 10 years to the 80s. We're going 1986 to watch the John Candy comedy Armed and Dangerous.
I hope it's funny because when I first put on the list, you went,
Get ready, Mike.
I've watched it a couple times on Comedy Central growing up as a teenager, so I liked it then.
It's all right.
Can't wait for this episode.
All right, that's next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. That's it. Whatever Mike said. We'll see you later. I'm Mike Fields.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this is Forgotten Cinema.
Give me back my son.
Yeah. You better hope I don't find you.
I'll kill you.
I'm Jimmy Shaker. Let me tell you a story about the Eloy. Hey everyone, thank you for listening to our discussion about Ransom. If you are a Ron Howard fan, we did something a little different. This is one of his first comedies, Night Shift, which is above me, starring Henry Winkler and Michael Keane, a young Michael Keane and a young Henry Winkler.
And if you want to keep it in like the crime genre, we did Two Guns, starring Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg. We both, I think, really like that movie. It's kind of a fun buddy cop, also crime film. It's going to be above me right over here. Check that out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time on Forgotten Cinema.